What's up, guys? Dan from Headwaters Kayak Shop, and today I've got a special guest. You guys know Mobbin Outdoors? Of course you know this guy. We're going to be checking out his Titan 10.5 and some of the hacks he's done on a budget to really trick this kayak out. So let's get into it. All right, so we're doing some custom work before we do our walkthrough. We got to take out this old stock rudder, and we're going to install the Boondocks rudder. I know a lot of you guys have seen the Mobbin Outdoors video where he addresses the water on deck issue and uses 2 gaskets to fix the problem. So I guess we're gonna do 2 gaskets on the new one, yeah? This guy's got more hacks on this kayak than pretty much any kayak I've ever seen. And what I like about his stuff is it's super clean. So let's start at the bow and walk our way back. What did you do custom to your Titan 10.5?
Well, first off, if you notice in the front, I actually took out the rod holders in front. I like to dock my boat on the shore, and I actually like to walk on top of it. So I didn't want to damage the rod holders by stepping on it. Also, after some use of time, the rod holders would actually damage some of my eyelets. So I took it out and I made these little tiny rod stages right here. And if you take a look at the back over here on my Boondocks, I got a rod holder. I could just go ahead and pop it in and out. And that way, if I find something on my fish finder and my drop shot's ready to pull it out, and I can pull my rod out without damaging it.
Nice and quiet too.
Yeah, nice and quiet too.
And that's a Kayak Roto Grip. Those just slide right onto the tracks, right?
Yeah.
So you got another Roto Grip right up on top of the drive?
That's for my quick deployment of my net.
That's sweet.
So it's another rod holder from Kayak. If you take out the screw over here on top and the bottom, it fits perfectly.
Oh yeah, it's just a little
Yeah,
piece
so no extra hardware.
Yeah, perfect. Just threads right on the top.
Yeah.
Is that the same thing Greg Blanchard uses?
I don't know.
Yeah, I know he carries it in a similar spot. So.
And if you notice that I got one of the original seats that came with the Native Titans without the tool caddies on the side. So went to Home Depot and I found these over here for like $7. They go over here on the handles, and this one right here, it's a clip, and it clips right here onto the side.
Right on. That's super clean.
Yeah.
And everything you need's right there. What kind of stuff do you keep in your caddy?
You know, a lighter, scissors, the scale, and this. I got this from Dan himself. When I first met you at, at the Sportsman Convention Expo, you gifted me in this, and man, this thing is awesome. I can keep the fish safely in the water before I scale it, and it works well. Notice that I made my own lanyard over here.
Yeah.
The original lanyard that came with it was made out of cable. It was really short. And if I attach it to my seat over here, the fish was barely in the water. So I fabricated something that's a little bit longer so I can keep the fish safely in the water before I scale it.
Okay, now I already asked him about this. I'm like, what did you make that out of?
I made it out of weed whacker line.
Yeah.
Basically, you wrap it around a wooden dowel. You put in some boiling water for like 15 minutes. You take it out, and then you would reverse the coils so that way the compression goes reverse and it keeps tight.
That's
and
funny.
I've used this for maybe 20 times, and look, it still keeps its coil really tight.
There you go. So that device he's using is called a Calcos donkey leash. And this was actually a prototype. They gave me a few to hand out to my guys to see how people were liking them. Marvin, I knew he was going to be out fishing and making videos, so I wanted to give him one. And so far, we really like him, so we brought him into the shop.
Thank you, man. This is one of the most used tools I have on my out of my old boat.
Nice.
I keep pliers over here for the treble hooks. Got a Leatherman and a fisherman tool over here, which has a split ring pliers. So anything I need to do maintenance on my rods, this is a really good tool over here.
Nice. All right, well, let's look at your fish finder setup. I know we just installed this Burley Pro for you. That'll make things nice.
This fish finder, I checked out a lot of videos. I talked to a lot of people on how to install a total scan transducer. And these transducers, they're huge, they're like this big. And they won't fit into the dedicated fish finder mount inside the Titan. One guy, his name is Ryan Montoya, he actually successfully installed one in there to make it flush underneath. And I picked his brain, and he showed me the parts I needed, and now it works fine. I saw this idea from Dan himself. I don't want to install. You can actually route the wires through here in front, and that way when you close it up, no wires are exposed. I mean,
Yeah,
how
that's
clean
really
is that,
clean.
you know?
So you just have That one Hobie fitting there.
Yeah, I went with this Hobie fitting over here because the covers, you don't need to have access to the back. This is the 3 screw through hole fitting over here. I mounted it specifically for my size, and that way I can when I'm paddling or pedaling, I can go ahead and fish finder, and when I'm standing, I want a drop shot, I can put up this way.
Oh, nice. There you go.
So that way I can drop shot, and I could video game fish at the same time. So that's why I went with this setup over here. Look how big that transducer is, and it's pretty much flush over here, and all features for it work. Even though you would think that the side scan would be causing some interference from this hole over here, it doesn't. It works perfectly fine. The propel drive down, there's no interference with it whatsoever.
That's cool.
No interference. It works perfectly fine.
And you have an install video over that over on your channel, right? All right,
Definitely.
I'll link that up in the bio, you guys, so you can go check that out if you have more questions about the fish finder install.
Another cheap hack I also want to share is the weather stripping, $3. I got extra large weather stripping over here. The reason why I replaced it is because the old weather stripping was really thin, and I noticed that when I was pedaling hard, some water would come out to the side. Now by adding an extra thick padding over here, it completely closes it out. And I also noticed that it kind of deadens the sound a little bit, so that's another added feature.
All right, moving back, I see a pretty custom crate going on here. Some
I like to
gear.
call this the kitchen sink. This is the kitchen sink. If you take a look at some of the nice rod holders out there, they can run around for like $6 or $7 a piece. I got some PVC piping over here. Heated, cut it to my length. It's around maybe around 15-18 inches. Got a heat gun, heated the ends, and I smashed it down on a bottle to make it flare out a little bit. And then I used the hacksaw, and then I cut out the little notches over here for my rods.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rod holders.
And maybe around $2 a piece.
Yeah, that's tough to beat, right?
Yeah, this storage right here, I got it from, it's an ADX storage from Costco for like $6. And it's mine. It's mine. It's my kitchen sink, you know?
Yeah, I mean, when we all started this, it was all about trips to Home Depot, making things work, looking around, saying, hey, I think I can make that do this.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about your rig. And the way you do it is so clean. Like, even this little camera pull, I mean, what is that thing?
This is my homemade GoPro boom. It uses PVC piping, and this thing is tough. This is an extender over here. I mean, you would think that this is kind of not safe for your camera, but honestly, this thing is tough, and it's not going anywhere.
Yeah, and it just attaches right to your right into your track with the native track adapter.
Right here, and I can have access to it when I'm looping videos. I can go ahead and I have an action shot that I want to record. I can go ahead and tap the record button here to catch my loop.
That's
And
awesome.
it works great.
That's perfect. I'm actually going to steal that one. All right, in the back area here, what do you got going?
Yeah, I upgraded to the Boondocks. Because the weather is changing right now, the current's getting a little bit harder, and it's a lot more windier. I need a little bit more control on my steering.
And I see you got the flag. He was telling me about this. Check this little hack out. First, you
Okay.
got it mounted to the track, of course, right?
So this stays here permanently because I carry my boat in the back of my Tahoe. It sticks out a little bit. Now, just to be safe and within compliance, I have to have a flag sticking out over here. Now, my friend became a test case of carrying his boat in the back of his car at nighttime. The flag was not adequate enough to be compliant with the transportation rules on the road. You actually have to have a light on the back.
So anyways, Marvin, I just wanted to thank you a bunch, man, for bringing your yak in and showing it off.
I want to thank you for having me here, man. You got a nice shop over here.
If you guys aren't already subscribed to Mobbin Outdoors on YouTube, go check it out. Even his old videos about his old Tamarack angler, there's so much good information. And just in general, really fun person to watch and follow on YouTube. I know I got my notifications turned on, so every time he posts a video, I check it out. So thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comment. Either Marvin or I will get back to you. And don't forget to subscribe, like the video, share. Helps us grow this thing. Until next time, guys, this is Dan, Marvin, and Dax wishing you happy paddling.